Oh, hello. I think I'm coming down with can't stop sniffing. Right, what was I going to say? It's near Halloween, and Halloween was our favourite time of the year, mine and Cassie's. So I bought some bits and bobs for Halloween. A couple of pumpkin things, statues. They've got lights on. Look at my face. And from Amazon, I bought some of these LED lights. I'm gonna show you later when it's dark. I'll upload another little video of them flashing like disco lights. They've got remote control and everything. And I've stuck them to the back of the telly because other people did that, and I like to conform. no, it looked nice because cat and the claws. Say hello, puss. Say hello. Say hello. Yeah, so it looked good on the televisions because the lights themselves are pretty ugly, like me. So I put them on the back of the telly, and what'll happen? I'll do it later. I'll show you later. The glow, as long as you don't have them flashing like a disco, which must be distracting the drivers at night time. You got this fade thing. Sort of. There's my audible interpretation of what the lights look like. Anyway, so because it's Halloween, I want to tell you a little story about true stories about spooky things that happened in my life. Just a couple of little things that I've got no explanation for. Not ghosts or anything. Well, I don't know what it was, but I don't think it was a ghost. But anyway, when I was younger, I used to know this. I used to hang around with this lad. I must have been about 6, I think, something like that. And he lived about a quarter of a mile away from us. We used to walk over, me and my mum. She used to spend the day with the Christina Lim, I think. She used to spend the day with the mother. And me and Richard, that was his name, we used to hang about in his garden. We used to climb trees and whatnot. And if I remember rightly, the houses were side by side, and there was a lot of work going on in the area. There was a lot of rubble, a lot of sand, piles of sand, like where work was going on, And I think if you look on Google Maps where it is now, which I have done a while back, it's all, new housing and whatnot from like 30 years ago. Well, new housing, but you know what I mean. It's modernish. Anyway, so we used to play around in this area with all this grassy area, and like we used to find things. I don't know why there was lots of little things, but we used to find some right things. Like I once found a horse and carriage. I once found a little bronze wheel. I don't know what happened with it. Bronze wheel, heavy bronze horse wheel thing, and we found cutlery and things just laying in the middle of this grassy bit. Anyway, the house to the right of my friend's house was their back garden had bricks in and everything. It was almost like they were getting renovations as well, and it looked like nobody was living there. So I remember there once, but I reckon we did it more than once. I think we went into the garden a few times on little adventures, as you do. And we used to dare each other to go close to the house because it didn't seem like it was going to be there. And this one day that I'll never forget it. We went right over to the house, went adventuring, and we were looking around rubble and everything, and there was this pile of rubble leant up against the house. Was it it was, yeah, it was like bits of brick and mud, and just a pile of like where something had been sort of broken down, like, and we got closer to the house than we'd ever been before. We went right up to the windows, and we were looking at him. I remember Richard shouting. He shouted something like, Mark, what's that? Or he was shouting something anyway. And I didn't notice it, so I turned round. I remember looking. And the split second we saw it, it was enough for us to make us leg it. The rubble, there was noises, and I was only young, so I don't know what it was. The rubble was moving, and I'm sure, unless my memory's gone and twisted it slightly, I'm sure we heard somebody swearing under the rubble. You know? Shouting at us, because that made us run. I always remember it, because I thought it was a game for a split second, so I was running and laughing. It didn't register. I run because he ran. And I looked on my left, where he was running, we were flying like the wind, and he was crying his eyes out, oh, you know, like you do, like the kids do. And it clicked as I was running. I remember thinking, look back. And I did look back, and the rubble was still moving. I remember that. And we run back into the next door house, and I think we must have said, you know, oh, what happened next door? Oh, we saw somebody in. And we vaguely remember getting told off, not going into that garden. Now, the reason I'm telling it on like as a Halloween story is because it is a bit spooky, that, isn't it? I don't know what it was. I look back, and if I'm to think and guess, I think it was somebody was underneath it all. But I remember, oh, pussycat, come on. I remember it being bricks and a big pile of, a 5-foot pile of mound of mud and bricks and things on the wall, up against the wall. So, if somebody was living under there, it had to have been a tramp, wouldn't it? It would have had to have been a, you know, somebody living homeless. So, there you go. I don't know what you think to that. So, that's the first bit of it, right. Now, the second bit is, and I don't know if it's anything to do with it, it just sounds similar, is later on, I was 16. I'm sure I was 16. And I was going around town with my mate at the time called Kevin Farrell. And we used to go through a place called East Lathgate to get to Park Lane. No, we were going to the nightclub Silver something. Yeah, I don't live there no more. Silver Street. So that's the street, Silver Street, and there was a nightclub there called Charisma or something. Anyway, we were going there, like, you know, and we were heading through, and Kevin was a drinker. I mean, he's not with us no more. He either had a heart attack or he committed suicide. I've heard both them stories from people. I don't know what happened, but I'd moved away a long time before that. Anyway, we were walking through this East Lathgate, and we were walking down a ginnel and down a private car park, and then to go between two buildings, which would then take us out on Silver Street. That's right. And I was so drunk. I do remember this clearly. This will get you thinking. I was so drunk, everything was spinning, you know? Yeah, I couldn't focus on things. Everything was spinning. You'd look at something and it all sort of started going to the left or the right. I think it's to the left, isn't it? And I remember walking past. Now, you're going to think I'm talking crap here. I remember walking past this this private car park with Kevin. And I saw the pile. I saw a giant pile of leaves. I'm sure it was leaves this time. Right in the corner. In this car park. And as we walked past, I remember thinking to myself, that's like that pile from when I was a kid. Now, this is the bit you're going to think I'm talking crap, but I'm not. I remember it. We walked past and I said to Kevin, look at that, what's that? And like I said, I was drunk, but I could see it. And the moment I said that to him, and I don't think we went over to it. No, we walked past. The moment I started speaking about it, it all come loose. Yeah, it sounds like I'm talking rubbish. I'm not. It all come loose. It started moving, and he goes, "Come on, let's get out of there," like, or something like that. And we were just laughing, jolly, having a good night, and we just run down the tunnel to get away from it, and we were laughing. And that's the last I remember that. Isn't that weird though? That 2 incidences in my life with a big pile of rubble, and neither time did I know. I didn't find out what was under it. I wish I'd have gone back, because, as a 16-year-old, I was like, I was bulletproof. I should have gone over and stuck my foot in it and find out what it was. I reckon it was a tramp. Again, isn't that weird though? That's the honest to God truth. Both them stories. So I'm like, that's my little Halloween story. That's it. Thank you. Bye.